In this part, I will show you how to work with footnotes, endnotes and sidenotes. These are important tools and mastering them is essential for professional formatting. Let's begin. In our book here we have footnotes. These fields are footnotes, so to edit them we should open the Notes panel, go to Window, References and Notes. Okay, let's pin it somewhere here. Okay, like this. So here we have three types of notes: footnotes, sidenotes and endnotes. Footnotes are those notes that are located at the bottom of the page, so like this here. Side notes are the notes that are located on the sides of the pages, like here on the right side or on the left side here. And the endnotes are the notes that are located at the very end of the book. So for example, we have the number here, for example, and the note body should go at the very end of the book. Let's have a look what settings we have here. So we can control document wide or just custom on several pages or on some kind of a range of pages. So let's control document wide. And the numbering. So numbering means the numbers here, you see. So for example, we can place the cursor on the note body, and if we click on this, it's called go to reference, and we can quickly find the number that's linked to this note. Okay, number format. So we have different types of number formats. We can start at any number and we can restart. It's currently set that we should restart every frame. So here we have the footnote number 1, and let's see if we can find another note somewhere below. Okay, here we have the second note, and it's again starts with 1. So we should change it to document. So the numbering is document wide. That note above was 1, this one is 2. And we can stylize the format, we can change the format of the note. The main text means on the body text. So let's click on this. So here is our note in the main text. So it only contains the number. It can be any style. It can have any charter style, so we can make it strong. Now it looks bolder. Yes, it can be any. So let's just say it's no style. It can be superscript or it can be just a regular number. And in the note body means this part. We have our number and then a space. Everything looks good. We can add more space to it, and the distance between the number and the text is larger in this case. Okay, let's leave only one space. And the number style may be in some preferred charter style. It can be superscript or it can be just a regular number. And the note body can have its own character style. I recommend giving it a character style. So okay, footnote text. Yes, and we should stylize this. So okay, let's select everything. Let's say we want Crimson Pro, and for footnote I recommend using 8 points. 8 points with 9 or even 8-point leading. So deselect align to baseline grid. Okay, so 8 by 9, it's okay. Left aligned, and turn off the hyphenation. Okay, everything is okay, and update this. Cool. Let's check footnote 1 if it was also updated. And yes, the footnote 1 has also been changed. Okay, let's go further. And positioning. We can position at the bottom of the column or the bottom of the frame. They work a little bit differently, but just for regular book, let's say we have at the bottom of the column, let's leave it as is, mean gap before. So you see here, for example, the footnote and the text is too close. Let's add some gap between them. Let's increase it, you see, 15 points. So we added 1 point, but since we have a baseline grid, we have one line here. So that seems to be enough, okay. And gap between. If we would have several notes in one page, we would add a gap between them so that they are not too close to each other. Let's keep the initial advance and minimum advance by default, so leading and 0 points. Allow split notes. It means if, for example, the note body here is too long, this should be split into another page. So let's disable that. And pack short notes allows you to pack and tighten the space of the notes for shorter notes. And rules. Rules means this line above. So 1 point is too much. So let's change it to 0.5 points. So just it doesn't attract too much attention on the page. So it's just one line to separate. Actually, some designers and some publishers recommend to remove that line. So leave it as this. It also works, but in this case you want to add more space above it, so something like that. It also looks nice, okay, but let's draw this and let's return this, something like that. And the length means the length of the rule. So currently it's 25.4 millimeter. We can make it 10, and now it's shorter, but just let's leave it as 25.4. Left indent is the indent of the ruler. So yes, we have space on the left side. And the vertical offset means the elevation of the note. You see, we can bring it higher or we can bring it lower and so on. Let's keep it as is. Okay, great. And let's find all notes in our book. Let's look for footnote text style. This one is fine, we have set it. This one, okay, also looks fine. As you can see, the text is too close, yes? So we should add a space above it. So, like this, okay? So that we just have more room for the note. These two notes also look fine. This one, okay, looks beautiful. This one is fine, and this one is also fine. And if you want to add a note while typing, so for example here is 7, here let's say we want to add a note, just click on this plus button and insert or type your new note here. Great. Now you can adjust and add a footnote. Let's remove everything. Let's now have a look at the side note. Okay, let's suppose we want to add the side note here. Okay, go to side note and add it. So you see the side note appears on the edges of the book. Yes, if it's on the right side page, it appears on the right side. If it's a left side page, it will appear on the left. So let's type something. My first side note. You see, for the side notes, we should add more margins on the sides. So for example, let's go to our, so let's copy this so that we remember where it was. Okay. And remove reset formatting. I just want to keep an eye on this part And on the master page, let's decrease our text column. Okay, something like that, for example. And in the transform, we see that the width is 75.5, and this should also be 75.5. More closer here. Okay, now our text column is narrow. Okay, let's find our note, and as you can see, now we have a lot more pages, so we need to add more pages at the end. It takes some time depending on the length of the book and on the complexity of the book. Okay, now we are ready, let's find it, and it's here. You see, now it appears on the left side. Okay, let's go to the note and side notes here. And in note body, let's say it should be footnote text, just smaller, yes. And everything is the same, numbering the same thing, reset every document. Let's say in the main text we have a number style, no style, it should be superscript. Number style, we don't change that, it should be footnote. Generate hyperlinks, yes, that's also, but since we are doing print book, we can disable that. We should definitely decrease the width, so like 20 millimeters or maybe 25. Okay, and always keep attention to the margin, outside margin here. This note should be within the margins, okay? It should not be placed outside of the margins. And distance from frame, so it's the distance between the note and the frame here. So let's say we have 5 millimeters. It's okay. Here we can make it a little bit wider, maybe 27. Minimum gap between two notes, okay. Note position, here it says closest side. It means the closest side of the text frame. So for example, if this number, the note, is located near the left side of the text frame, the note will be placed on the left side. If this, for example, would be placed near the right side, so for example here, the note would appear on the right side of the text frame. Since we want our side notes to appear always on the edges of the book, on the sides of the book, we should choose away from spine. It means it will be placed away from the spine. There is an option to place it on the left of the frame, on the right of the frame, or towards the spine. If we would move our text frame to the edges of the book, to the sides of the book, and our notes would appear somewhere in the middle. Okay, and the closest side, we just discussed it. Alternate sides means the notes will be alternating the sides. So like the first note will be placed on the left side, the next note will be placed on the right side, and so on. Let's keep it as away from spine. Okay, now let's revert everything back to how it was. Let's now look at the endnotes. So go to notes, say we have endnotes. If you have prepared your endnotes in Microsoft Word or any other text editor, they will copy it into Affinity as endnotes. In our case, in the Microsoft Word, in our original manuscript, all the notes were prepared as footnotes, and here we have them as a footnotes. And in Microsoft Word, we can change everything to be like an endnote, and then we can copy it here in Affinity and we will have them as endnotes. Okay, let's insert a note here. We should choose endnote and click on this button, insert note. You see, once I have added a note, I'm moved to the last page where I should place the text, the body of the note. This is my first endnote. The endnotes are great for creating literature references, citations, and so on. So we have our first note here, and the number, the EndNote number, which refers to it, is placed on this page, number 322. And this time, in the numbering settings, we have the same settings. Format are also the same. The note body style, we can change it to footnote text and it will change. Or we can create another paragraph style dedicated for endnotes. Okay, let's leave it as footnote text. Generate hyperlinks, we can leave it as is, or we can disable that. And the position. Okay, it could be at the end of the book, separate frame, shared section frame, but just keep it as a shared document frame or at the end of the book. And the title style, now it looks like heading 2. It can look like heading 1. Yes, now it's on the separate page. It can look like normal, or you can create another style for this. So let's keep it as heading 2. And let's create a new style for the references as an endnote. So for example, we can have it here. Let's say it's Crimson Pro. It's 11 by 15 points. Okay, no space between them. And yes, left align, disable the hyphenation, and create a new style here. We call it endnotes text. Okay. And here we choose endnotes text. Great. Let's add more notes. Let's add something here. Okay, you see, now it's number 1, because the note that I have just wanted to create is located earlier in the book above. So that is number 1, and the note that we have created just before is number 2, because it appears closer to the end of the book, so after the first note. So then in this case, this is my second note. This is my first end note. Okay, let's add something more here. And this is the third note, my third end note. Okay, let's remove the space. Again, if you have prepared your references, your list of used literature, list of references in Word as endnotes, they will appear as endnotes here. And all bolds and italics, everything should stay the same as you have designed them in Word. And for example, in main text, you can change the style. So, for example, let's say you are working with some specific magazine or journal and they want the links, the references inside the text to be within the square brackets like this, and you can easily change it here. Okay, nice. If you have any questions in general about your book formatting or publishing your book, please feel free to save your time within my Calendly. We will meet in Zoom and discuss your formatting and any other question about book formatting and self-publishing. Okay, great. In the next part, we will discuss how to create index in your book.